Welcome to Speaking of Service, the podcast that uncovers practical ways to grow service revenue, control costs, and improve customer satisfaction. If you're looking to innovate, gain a competitive edge, or just learn about the latest service trends, you've come to the right place. Tune in to today's discussion where Chris Wolf delves into the world of smart tires. She speaks with Kamakshya Prusti and Abhinav Saxena from Bosch Software and Digital Solutions on the huge potential there is for the tire of the very near future.
It seems crazy to say, but tires matter. Tires are literally where the rubber meets the road for personal transportation as well as the supply chain around the world. First came the wheel and then came the tire, and tires are getting better and smarter every day. In fact, my guests today have authored a white paper that I recommend to you on smart and connected tire platforms. They are experts from the Bosch Software and Digital Solutions Group. We're very lucky to have them here with us. Welcome to Speaking of Service, Abhinav and Kamakshya.
Hi,
Thank you,
Ulfi.
Ulfi.
Nice to be here.
So before we get started, Bosch, what a huge company, enormous corporate group. Tell me where Bosch Software and Digital Solutions fits in the group.
Right. Thanks, Ulfi. Bosch Software Digital Solutions is part of Bosch Global Software. And Bosch Global Software is the R&D, innovation, and digital transformation wing of Bosch worldwide. In fact, we run the largest R&D center of Bosch outside of Germany. So for the last 25 years we have been doing this work, we have supported most of the Bosch's internal divisions, and now we are ready to package all our learning and the assets for this for servicing the digital transformation journey of all our customers, which are Bosch customers or the non-Bosch customers.
And as an expression of German engineering in India, tell me a little bit about your role, and then Abhinav, I'll ask you to do the same.
So I lead the connected product and IoT business unit. So in my role, we help the manufacturers, the product manufacturers, craft their digital transformation journey, define their product strategies, and essentially stitch an end-to-end story from R&D to after sales, so that their vision of the next generation of product is realized.
And Abhinav?
Thanks, Wolfie. So I'm the portfolio lead for connected products and IoT. On the similar lines, what Kamakshya said, we help customers bridge the gap between how do you make a product to a smarter product. So we take care of the end-to-end business model transformation, the product connectivity, how end customer would benefit out of this digitization that we experience in our day-to-day lives. So we work with customers globally. We work with customers in all product segments, all different vertical segments. And how do we enable those customers take a leap from a simple product to a digitized product?
So you grew up inside of the Bosch group, advising Bosch siblings, but I understand now you're bringing your consulting advisory services, your expertise on transformation to third parties outside of the Bosch group.
That's right, Ulfi. And that's where our business unit of software and digital solution fits in.
How's business?
Business has been really good, especially post-COVID. I think this is business as usual now. In fact, organizations have redrawn their growth strategies, drawn their capex plans. I think getting ready to accelerate the business and take their businesses to the new heights.
Well, I understand, particularly from reading the white paper, but conversations that I've had with you and others, that the technology trends are really favoring acceleration of digital transformation in the mechanical engineering and process manufacturing industries that you serve. Kamakshya, what are the key technology components of a connected tire platform that you're seeing absorbed?
So connected tire platform makes use of some of the mature technologies which are already available in the market today. For example, the sensor technologies, the gateway devices. So essentially, we put in the sensing devices like the sensors in a tire and connect all the data, relay them into a gateway device, and then the tire data, and then we visualize the tire data using an IoT or a cloud platform. Finally, when such data is made available for different users over a mobile and web application, this opens up possibilities for different business models that the tire OEMs take it to their end customers. So that's in a nutshell is a connected tire platform. If you look at it, vehicle OEMs, they have been connecting the different parts of their vehicles for a long period of time. But so far, the tires have remained as a last frontier in the connectivity journey. We think that a perfect storm of technological evolution has happened, which has taken the cost of bandwidth down, the sensor cost downwards, the cloud cost has gone down, and the platforms have become more integrated. With all these right enablers in place, now the time is right for the connected journey of the tire manufacturers to really accelerate going forward.
And as I understand it, I think of my tire once a day when I check the tire pressure when I boot up my car. But this can have a massive impact on the performance of the vehicle, the safety of the vehicle, its contents, its driver, as well as the fuel efficiency of that piece of equipment. Can you give us some context for how much of an impact tires have on those three factors?
You're right. So you said it. So tire pressure influences the economic performance of a vehicle, more so for a fleet owner for whom the economic performance of the journey is very, very important. We all know that tire pressure is directly linked to the fuel consumption that we all know as a driver ourselves. But then optimum tire pressure can also be a factor for better handling, better stability, better braking performance, as well as reducing the downtime of the vehicle. So due to all these reasons, the tire OEMs are finding the fleet operators as the first takers of the connected tire proposition. But then we believe that as this technology penetrates to more and more vehicles in the future, other segments of the tire consumption, tire consumers such as the forestry tires, off-highway vehicles, all those things will also open up gradually.
You've spoken in the white paper about moving from sensing, which is in most cases simply collecting tire pressure, to now being able to distill information about acceleration and heat, as well as tire pressure, and correlating that to fuel economy, to profitability for fleet operators. How are you helping your clients go from just sensing data to making sense of that information?
So first of all, we help the manufacturers at their different stages of maturity. Some of the tire OEMs maybe just taking baby steps into putting a sensor in their tires. For all those manufacturers, we help them choose the right sensors, right devices, help establish the connectivity, fetching the data into the cloud. Some manufacturers at the other end may be a little advanced. They might have figured out how to fetch data from the tires. But then for those manufacturers, we help in the analytics part of the services, which is a little bit of mobile devices, web applications, monitoring services. The third part of the third category of manufacturers is where they might have figured all of these things, but then they are struggling to do it for a million of vehicles, because connecting 100 or 200 vehicles as a pilot program is one thing, but then managing a connected vehicle program for a million vehicles all over the world is another. This is where we bring in the hypercomputing and the IoT platform, and then help them create a command center to monitor all the vehicles in all over the places. Now they're the fourth category of OEM who, having done all that things, now are in an advanced stage to figure out, once I have collected all the data points, what do I do with the data? So we take them on a journey of data monetization, helping such OEM sell the tires as a service. So helping their customers consume the tires at an OPEX model, not as a CAPEX model. So these are the four category of customers, how we take those customers on a connected tire journey.
It's amazing how many of my guests here at Speaking of Service are talking about these emerging business models and servitization. Abhinav, let me shift to you for a second to talk about the target customers that you're helping your clients reach. Who are these end customers that are most interested in smart and connected tires? What do they care about the most?
Thanks, Ulfi. So if you see about this technology, connected tires, So one aspect is where OEMs are benefiting out because they can churn the data, they can understand really about the tire performance. But the end customers could be an end customer, a regular Joe like me who has 4 tires, and could be somebody like a fleet operator who has 10,000 vehicles, 40, 80,000 tires. So if I'm a fleet operator and at all times I know where is my maintenance cost going, how is my tire performance based on the fuel capacity, based on the fuel consumption, it not only helps me control the cost, it helps me to plan better. It helps me to cover more miles. It helps me to reach far to a point where I cannot do until I have that information. So that kind of a bond that exists between an OEM and an end customer could only be achieved through this digitalization journey, where both of them benefits out of this data that we're getting out. So the fleet customers are happy, the end customer is happy. I'm happy. I can see that I'm saving, let's say, 2% of my fuel just because I can see the tire pressure and I can gauge, I can monitor how is the performance of my car. So that's a kind of benefit, and it yields to an end customer.
I heard a rumor that for fleet operators, fuel can add up to as much as 30% of their operating expense, and that managing the tires are really where the rubber meets the road for managing that fuel consumption. Is that true? Is what I've heard correct?
Yeah, I think the numbers hold true. If you look at the tire, right, tire as a device, it's not just that helps you keeps you on the road. A change of pressure here and there has a direct impact on your fuel efficiency. It not only saves you the maintenance cost, it helps the driver drive better, right? If you do up a fuel efficiency, you can cover larger miles, and that's where the real impact comes in. The maintenance cost, the 25 to 30% band range of maintenance cost is where tire holds the real value for you. So you've absolutely got it right, Wolfie. While I cannot 100% say that's the number, but that's the range it generally impacts on our fleet operator.
So at scale, when we're dealing with thousands, if not tens of thousands of tires, this can have a massive impact on the profitability of any fleet operator.
That's the beauty of it. See, I always believe digitization is magic, right? You produce things that doesn't exist and it comes out of thin air. So as a fleet operator, I get to know that 50% of my vehicle are driving at a nice efficiency. My driver behavior is nice. Even if you see, and especially in the part of Americas, right? Insurance companies tends to provide better insurance if you have a good mileage, you have a good driving behavior pattern. And that's the data that gets out of a smart tire. That's the data that gets out of a smart connected platform. So if you have those kind of data, saving direct and indirect is pure magic to the fleet operator business.
So Abhinav, with so many connected systems now integrated into a platform as complex as a vehicle or truck, what are the OEMs and the component manufacturers doing to collaborate with one another? Are we talking about proprietary ambitions or open systems? Where's that industry headed?
So, all right, picture this, right? It's an ultimate buddy game between tire makers and the vehicle manufacturers. They are this like dynamic duo in a superhero movie with hand in hand to create a perfect match. The tire wizards bring in their tricks, the tread patterns, the rubber blends and the sizes, while the vehicle gurus bring in their list of performance tweaks. The collaboration between the tire manufacturers and vehicle manufacturers, coupled with an integration of connected technologies, isn't just shaking up the rubber and steel game, it's rewriting the business playbook as we speak. Think about it, the integration of a connected tire platform and the OEM connected mobility platform. We are not just witnessing an evolution, we are experiencing a revolution in which how we drive and maintain our vehicle. This shift is more than just a tire change, it's a transformation in the business model itself. Your tires not only spin, right, but they communicate. They talk to your vehicle system, they share the data, predictive analytics, real-time insight. And as I said earlier, it's like having a personal psychic ensuring your safety, ensuring your vehicle performance, and providing unparalleled customer experience. And don't forget, customer experience, it's sourced through the roof. Drivers are no longer just behind the wheel. They're at the helm of the tech-powered innovation. Safety is heightened, efficiency is maximized, and convenience becomes the norm. So that's the glue that keeps the OEM and the fleet operators and then customers together.
In every conversation that I've had on this podcast series, we've talked about using technology to go from reactive to proactive to predictive or even preventative maintenance of complex equipment on the road. But there's always the balancing act of that end user experience and how that's enhancing how the user gains utility out of what they're using or improves the ability with an aging workforce for new folks to come back in. So Abhinav, you said a great comment just a minute ago, tires don't just spin, they communicate. What are the top 3 things or functionalities that they are communicating?
I think this is a beautiful question, Wolfie. See, imagine a tire platform that just goes beyond being rubber beneath your vehicle, right? Think of it as your personal tire guru, your ultimate tire therapist that you drive every day, ensuring you experience smarter, safer, and yes, even the sassier driving. So, what does this connected platform do, right? The top 3 functionalities as you asked. So, first is instant tire insights. It's about moving the goalpost of connectivity, shifting from mere connectivity to a smarter, rather a more intuitive system. Picture having a tire superpower at your fingertips. This platform monitors tire health in real time, pressure, wear, temperature, providing instant insights into their condition. It's just not about being connected, it's about being proactive, it's about being predictive. Second, as I said, proactive. Second is proactive maintenance alert. The platform is a game changer. It's like having a psychic for your own tires, right? It predicts potential issues before they escalate into problem. No more reactive approaches. It's all about proactive maintenance alerts. Imagine receiving notifications when maintenance or replacements might be needed, ensuring smooth, hassle-free driving without any surprises. And third and last is the customized performance tips. It's about your personalized advice tailored to your driving habits and conditions. This platform becomes your tire coach, offering customized tips for better performance, efficiency, and safety. It's not just about rolling rubber, it's about driving smarter, safer every time you hit the road. And all of this is unlocked into a power of a platform because the scale at what we are talking about, scale where the OEMs as well as the customers would benefit out of it, comes with the power of a singular platform.
That's very well said, Abhinav, because Wolfie, I believe that the OEMs in their connected products journey should begin with a scale in mind. Because the end, let us not forget, the end game is capturing data in truckloads, then analyzing the data and finding a way to monetize the data that the OEMs have captured. So in order to do that, they should pursue a platform approach to achieve the benefit of scale and essentially stitch the end-to-end digital thread from R&D to after sales, so that the the advantage of connectivity is not just limited to a customer segment, or that's just one stakeholder, but also for the internal organization like R&D, the inventory management, the supply chain, and so on and so forth. Therefore, we believe that the mature customers, mature and the more progressive tire manufacturers are beginning to look at the platformization of their connected tire journey, and this is only going to accelerate their end result in the future. That's our point of view.
Kamakshya, you've been working with clients who've been in their business for decades. They've acquired lots of technology, best-in-breed component pieces over time. And yet, if I hear you correctly, you're recommending that moving to a platform is a critical success factor for the future. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct, because platforms can orchestrate large volume of data, then can visualize the data, and can also make a data transform itself 360-degree within and outside of the organization. So therefore, the importance of platform cannot be emphasized enough.
And then how are your clients applying that data? Once, data can be overwhelming. How are you converting that into information?
So we are helping them to, once they have captured sufficient data from different driving conditions, different terrains, different vehicle types, we help them orchestrate some business model archetypes focused at either the supply chain or the R&D or the supply chain on inventory. On one side, that data, the power of that data can improve the operating performance of the tire manufacturer. On the other hand, it can help the after sales or the sales organization sell more tires or service the tires faster ahead of time. So the data for one segment could have a monetary value, and the same data could have the impact to reduce the cost of operation for the same tire manufacturer. So as you can see, it doesn't hurt to capture more data and then analyze more data and try to find the various usage pattern of the data for the entire ecosystem.
When you speak about that data and the breadth of users of that data, you're dealing with R&D engineers, you're dealing with salespeople and go-to-market marketing teams. Are you also dealing with third parties who may want to purchase or access that data in order to jumpstart their understanding of a marketplace?
Absolutely, there are creative applications of such data. As Abhinav had said in one of his answers earlier, that this data could be useful for an insurance company this because they can underwrite their premiums more competitively. Same data could be useful for the, let's say, an ambulance service provider or the Department of Post to track the performance of the vehicle or to optimize the routes, squeeze the best out of fuel efficiency from the vehicle. So it with the data, the magnitude of data in place, and the platform in operation, and analysis at the fingertips, I think the sky is the limit for the manufacturers and their customers in the connected tire journey.
So gentlemen, in the white paper that you've co-authored, you talk about how your clients, manufacturers, are reimagining tomorrow's mobility future from the ground up, literally, where the rubber meets the road. These are timeless topics, but also ones that are accelerating dramatically with the trends we're seeing in technology as well as in the economy. Maybe take us through a couple of these timeless elements.
So what we have observed is that what makes some of the tire OEMs more successful in their connected tire journey compared to others is that the more successful ones start with a scale in mind. So as we had mentioned earlier, piloting a couple of connected assets in a factory environment, in a controlled environment is one. But then how do you scale it to 1 million assets which are moving all the time on the road in different conditions, different terrains, carrying different loads, and then monitoring them around the clock? That will only happen when such data flows through a sophisticated platform and data is analyzed regularly. So in order to do that, our view is that the OEM should pursue the platform approach to achieve the benefit of scale and stitch an end-to-end digital thread from R&D to after sales. In this podcast, we spoke a lot about how a connected tire can be of value to an end customer, to a fleet operator. But that's an economic value, certainly. But let us not forget the importance of such tire data to an R&D engineer, to an inventory manager, to a marketing person, to an after-sales executive. All those stakeholders can benefit from the tire data that has been collected. And when such data is available to all the stakeholders ahead of time, the business value that is available to the tire OEMs goes much beyond a commercial value. It can help the tire OEM to improve to come up with the next generation of tire better. This marketing person can think of newer ways of selling the tire, architect different commercial models with their end customers, and the inventory manager can optimize the levels of inventory he wants to store to service a certain number of tires that he has in demand around the year. So these are some of the important things that these more successful tire OEMs are considering in their connected tire journey. And we also recommend that any tire OEM or in fact any connected product manufacturer, any manufacturer which has a vision for a connected product, connecting their product in millions, should start with a platformization approach in mind, and ensure that the product data is available to all the segments, all the stakeholders that they service.
Technology is the first start with getting the platform together, but driving adoption and success, utilizing that data coming off the platform in a wide array of functions has got to be even that much more difficult. How do you advise your clients on thinking about successful adoption at the outset of this project?
See, it's a journey that a customer takes. It's not a roadmap that could be fixed for every customer. Every customer has their own journey, and it's the steps that you have to take in a sequential order. So ensure that your connected journey is in place. Ensure that you have the right sensors. Ensure you have the right data. Second comes the power of analytics and power of machine learning. You help train your data, you figure out the sources of your data, and you start measuring your KPIs. And in order to do that on a scale, bring the power of platforms. That's the second step of that journey. Third step of the journey is the take action on your data. That's where a service management, a customer experience comes in. So bring along this journey, clear out a chart, clear out your path, and a successful transformation awaits for you there.
Well, I would be remiss in my role looking after partnerships here at PTC in the Americas if I didn't stress the importance of the third parties who help our clients and their various stakeholders embrace and adopt the new experiences that are possible with the data that your platforms are providing. So I appreciate having Bosch as a partner, and also a shout out to all of our partners in helping drive customer success better together. So thank you, gentlemen, for being on our call. It's really been wonderful. I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, Ulfi. It was a pleasure being on the show.
Thanks for listening to the Speaking of Service podcast, brought to you by PTC. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave a rating or review. And be sure to check out other episodes to hear new perspectives on improving life for aftermarket professionals, service teams, and the customers they support. If you have a topic of interest or want to provide feedback, email us at speakingofservice@ptc.com or visit us at ptc.com/speakingofservice.